All right, let's see what card we have first for the new moon in Gemini. Divine life purpose. And this is aquamarine, throat chakra oriented, I would say. And yeah, it's really about new beginnings for your purpose. If you've been feeling any kind of a standstill with Mercury retrograde, this is going to be a time of that beginning to shift as the Mercury retrograde is starting to end. And it's in Taurus, and so it's a grounding sign. And even though, moving backwards, it can feel like some extra, like really going through some interesting things with grounding. It feels good. It feels good to remove those blocks and to enjoy like your own company, to enjoy some comforts. Hopefully, the Taurus vibes, like communicating with yourself through like divine comfort, can actually give to your foundation for your life purpose. So, like, maybe trying new foods or something you haven't had in a while that feels really like you're romancing yourself, or being, just having a nice time with yourself, for instance, is a way of like communicating with yourself and giving to your, not just like your foundation, like your physical body, but also your inner like emotional foundation, because you're doing something that that you love, that feels good to you. And so, like, this is going to help you with your divine life purpose, because when you're in a state of alignment, like when you're actually feeling good, you can connect with what the universe is like. Hey, like, are you ready for these opportunities over here? And I think that depending on like your human design, I really recommend looking that up. If I think you need to know your time of birth. I do incorporate them in readings if like upon request. I'm not a human design expert, but I know enough to help you with it and to like go over it, because I just find it so valuable to at least know what type you are. If you're a generator, a manifesting generator, projector, all that stuff. So for me, I'm a generator, and so it's funny because it's one of those things I have the hardest time with, is like relaxing and letting things come to me. I'm so impatient with my Aries moon sometimes, but it really does work best. I tell you what, like if I can really cultivate a higher vibration within me and actually feeling good, and put boundaries, like when I put proper boundaries around my energy, that's when things actually come to me. When I'm like yes to everything, and doing things that don't feel good to me, my energy drains away and I don't feel so good, and I feel lack. And so, if this resonates for you, what I'm saying at all, doesn't necessarily mean you're also a generator. I mean, some of these are like things we all experience on some level, but there is like a unique kind of way you can go about helping attune your vibration and like setting yourself up for success with your divine life purpose. And for some people, that looks a little bit different than others, but it does always involve like cultivating the vibration in your life that you desire. And it doesn't need, mean you need to like live in a palace to like attract, really great opportunities to you. I mean, that's not always usually how it works anyway, right? Like success stories, it's like you got to start somewhere, right? And you have to just give it what you've got. So whether it's like a new job for you, just like a new phase of something, or anything related to your purpose, really pay attention to that, and don't give up on like just honoring your true value. Roll up your sleeves and do what you got to do, like to support yourself and to get by. But it doesn't mean you need to say yes to everything. And sometimes, like the more practiced you are, the more experienced and refined your vibration, the easier it is usually to tell if things are in alignment or not. And so sometimes, you might find yourself taking certain risks because like you're kind of ready for that, but you do need to of course always be like practice just practice self-love essentially, and not set yourself up for failure. Like the basics, but it really does look different for everyone, so you'll never know unless you try, I guess, right? So the next card is appetite, progress, not perfection. Love this one. So this is basically saying, hey, don't compare yourself to others, because you might start to do that. I know I have and even still do sometimes. And it just spirals you. It's like very pointless to do. Now, what can be helpful is like comparing in terms of like, well, this person, achieved this by doing this. Is there anything about that that is for me, maybe, or like appreciating what another person has, and recognizing that they got it through, their unique journey and you have your unique journey. Because you can't always tell right away, like by what you've already manifested, what it is that you're in the process of manifesting. I mean, you can look really like down and out one minute and then finally have success, I mean, and that's like, I know kind of in some ways a little bit of a fairy tale, but that does happen for some people. But the point of those kinds of, I think, things happening for the rest of us is just to remind humanity, to remind the collective consciousness that like you're, like to look beyond what is just playing out already in the outside, like to really feel into it more. And also to track your progress, just really like on a basic level, right? So track your progress, look how far you've come, and don't like deny that, and don't discard it, because it's really important for you to fully look at. And sometimes you might get even more frustrated as you look at your progress because you're not having the breakthrough, let's say, that you want, or you're just frustrated with it's kind of hard to explain, but you can get frustrated with your progress, like with receiving, like a receiving block. So whatever the case is, like it's okay to just move through the feelings of it and not judge yourself as you are tracking your progress. And it can also help you see where you're maybe not making progress, or it feels like you're seriously not making progress and maybe you have a block there, or maybe you're not recognizing the progress that you're making, which can actually be its own block in a way from, fully manifesting what it is that you want. So you might be resisting love in certain places. So anyways, the point is to, progress, not perfection. So don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and all that you have learned, okay? And it's really good, like, maybe if you have some Virgo in your chart or something or whatever, but, like, if you're a perfectionist at all, then, like, remember that you don't need to be. Perfection is not about, like, always getting it right the first time. That's nice, though, if it can be, but if it's coming from a place of control, you just set yourself up for, like, feeling really, really bad, because, like, it just feels really, it really takes from you to try to, like, maintain that kind of energy of control to, like, perfect stuff. I speak from some personal experience, too, right? So, like, just, you don't need to do that to yourself, and it's important to really love yourself through. And I think you'd be surprised if you haven't discovered this already, and even if you have, it's nice to have the reminder that, like, you being your authentic self and loving yourself and interacting in that way will get you a lot further than you might think most of the time. Now, sometimes, yeah, maybe the other person on the other side of the table, all they care about is what you look like, and if you don't, fit the bill, like, you're done. But that's probably not the right thing for you if that's the case, most likely. Um, so it's just something to keep in mind that you're always like going to be encouraged by divine spirit to be yourself and to shine from within. And I think, you can be pleasantly surprised by how far you can go with that, as opposed to like focusing on getting your makeup just right and everything. That stuff is fun and nice, but like you might be missing the whole point of everything when you focus on those outer things, and miss just aligning with yourself and like connecting, from your heart chakra and stuff like that. So that's helpful maybe if you're like going on an interview too or something, but just for, I don't know, even just day-to-day stuff really, for you know connecting with even your friends, and even your twin flame too, actually. So, Tiger's Eye, self-confidence through God confidence. This card comes up all the time. Like, ever since I've gotten this deck, I feel like this is one of the more common cards that I pull. But, yeah, believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. I mean, I guess it's like you can't have enough reminders, Like, yeah, if you're not able to do something, or like, how the heck am I going to do this? Like, remember, it's God through you, and it's confidence that like is already within you. It's not confidence you need to like muster up or like fake or something. I mean, yeah, it can be a little maybe uncomfortable if, I don't know, you're meeting someone for the first time, or you're feeling under pressure, or you're nervous about something, or you really desire something and you have to like get it just right, but if you can at least find, at your core, the basic confidence that's already there, and then even if you trip up a bit, you're a little nervous or this or that, like, you're still like doing it from that place of peace within, rather than trying to like ride off of some kind of false like confidence or something. So yeah, it's important to really like be centered and balanced. I think especially during Gemini season, when it can feel like a lot of like, I'm this way and then I'm that way, kind of in one way or another, depending on what's going on for you in the rest of your chart. But I think there is that overall energy of the twins, and like going deeper with where's the truth with this duality, like where does the duality fade away, kind of thing. So the next card is unnecessary worries. So if you are someone out there who has a worry right now, don't be worried. Essentially, it's citrine, and it's very good for your solar plexus and your sacral chakra and creativity. And so sometimes if you're worried, you might be putting that creative energy, like pouring it into your worry, which is really bad for you. And I don't recommend doing that. And so, worrying is very, like, not helpful for pretty much anything. Of course, we can't help it sometimes when we're facing challenges, or it feels like we can't. But you really can overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome. But worrying is like letting the worry fade away and letting spirit into that place, and remembering that, yeah, spirit is your strength, is going to help you not feel worried. And it says, release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. So yeah, I mean, exactly. That's exactly it. I also have a one card reading right now that is only $5.55 if you want to just like have one card pulled for you and dice rolled, astrology dice. And I also offer that as like a service at this time, where like I'll snap a picture of it and give you basic definition of everything and send it to you. So if you're looking for like a like, oh, I want a reading, but I'm not ready for a session or something or whatever, it's a nice thing you can do for yourself. So check that out if you want to, but I also do in-depth readings, which I know I have to say, like, I do prefer, because it's really fun to be able to, like, look at your chart if you want that, and to go deep into what's going on with, like, say, like, your life purpose, definitely with your twin flame journey, maybe tap into, if you're like, how's my twin flame feeling, or why, tap into that energy. And yeah, it's really good to invest in your twin flame journey, guys. Invest in romance. Invest in what is really important to you in life, and the universe sees that. Because I think we're taught, like, invest in the gym instead, but that's not really how you're gonna actually get the results you want. It might give you some results, like abs or something, but of the actual, like, peace and, like, good feelings that you want, that's something else. It's more than just short-term endorphins from, like, working out or whatever. So yeah, I hope that was convincing to, like, consider more seriously, like, taking your journey, taking your spiritual journey seriously. I think it's worth saying, like, you are worth the work required for real love in your life, real romance, real prosperity, and yeah, just, it is worth it. But it like requires you to kind of move past some of your fears that might be blocking you at this time. And if you feel like you're like, oh, I know my twin flame, maybe, but I don't know, I don't even want to look at that, just have to tell you, yeah, there is a way for you to be with your twin flame, and yes, it does require inner work to do, but there is a way. So there you go. And if you don't believe in twin flames, well, then if you don't believe in real, true love, and that there's, like, one person out there for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so this card is Contemplation, number 29. Yeah, I think this card is speaking to the end of Mercury retrograde and the new moon in Gemini. Like, it's like, it even has that kind of, like, not dark as in, like, just, it's like darker sky and stuff, like that dark kind of energy of the new moon when it's not as illuminated, but it's like, there's a lot going on, like, under the surface, like seeds sprouting kind of thing. That's how this card kind of feels to me right now. And so, yeah, it's speaking to that contemplative energy. And the new moon's a really good time for beginning, new things, new cycles of manifesting. Maybe you want to journal, maybe you want to do something creative, or just kind of hunker in and, get cozy. This is higher ground, so it's just like, take the higher ground. What I'm getting from this right now is, like, taking the higher ground actually just means, like, choosing yourself and doing what's best for you is the higher ground thing that you're really being called to right now. Not like, oh, I need to be more ethical than this, liar over here or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, like, it's really just about choosing the highest version of yourself, at this time, and whatever that means for you. And that means feeling good, right? Like, it's not about sacrifice and stuff like that. That is not a higher ground. The higher ground is not always the thing you get recognized for right away. Sometimes, you get surprised by that. But it's something that God does see, and so you have to trust that there is a divine presence, and that, like, you are being seen for what you're actually, like, doing, not what you're just, like, doing and making look good on the outside. And there's your higher ground. New experiences and possibilities. Cool. Well, I love this. I think this is a very positive outlook. It really speaks to Mercury going direct, I think, and to the card. What did I pull earlier that this is relating to, I feel? Let me look because I want to know. Oh, right. That's what I was thinking. Divine life purpose. I feel like it's speaking to your purpose, new experiences and possibilities. So yeah, don't discard them if something like didn't quite work out during Mercury retrograde, as that can happen, or like you couldn't quite push through to like the new thing, or you're kind of busy taking care of old stuff, or you're like, how the heck is this thing gonna work out, or whatever. But you're gonna feel like it's easier to have these breakthroughs after this next week, or even maybe during this next week. I feel like there's going to be more of that energy. Of course, you have to do your part in your reality, which is like you create your reality and you do your inner work and heal your upsets if you're, attracting things you don't like into your reality. And then that's going to yield to you these really beautiful, positive, and kind of feeling new. It's like, ooh, this new level, like leveling up in some way in your life. And love matters. Yes, it does. So do what feels good to you. Love does matter. Keep loving yourself. So watch out for that. I was talking earlier about human design, and I kind of want to bring it up again. Like, pay attention to where your center is, like by your human design. Like, for me, it's sacral, and it's like a yes or a no. And so like the more I train myself in responding properly to like how and being more attuned with how I actually feel within, the more I'm able to like love myself, because I'm not like I'm not doing things that I guess I just don't want to do, just because like I'm too caught in whatever's going on around me to be present within myself. So choose yourself, choose to be present within yourself, and that's really going to help you. So we'll just do one more card to wrap it up for right now. So this next card, is pause, and I think that's such a good card to end on. It's such a pretty card. Very nice new moon colors, new moon and Gemini vibes. So yeah, just time to pause, I guess. Time to like maybe take a little breather for yourself, enjoy. And this last card kind of rides off of that card, laughter. So to me, it's time to maybe do something that is joyful to yourself. Maybe it's even watching something funny, or just lightening your mood, feeling good, and calling in experiences that are going to feel good. Maybe even imagining yourself already doing the thing that you're hoping is going to work out for you, whether it's like with your lover, with your twin flame, or purpose related to the next step for you in your life purpose, or anything else. Really imagine it, and I think that's going to be really helpful for the new moon. And then also do things in your life that help you to attune your vibration to what it is that you're like, is kind of coming in, and you're like, is it really here? And that's going to help attune you to your next step, whether it's exactly how you are hoping it's going to be, or something, a bit of a surprise or whatever. But definitely feel into the opportunities being presented to you at this time, and keep asking yourself, is this, really like, is this really my next step? Does this feel good to me? And like, is this what I have called in? Why is this in front of me, as a potential choice? And get clear. And that's going to help you feel more confident when you do decide to move forward with something. And, just because you take a next step, your next step then always leads you to the step after that at some point, right? And so, like, The next step isn't the end all be all. And I think that's important because sometimes we forget that too. Like, even with your twin flame journey, some people experience like a false twin flame and some people don't. But like, just because you have that experience, if you do, doesn't mean you did anything wrong, and it doesn't mean that you didn't love that person or that experience with your heart. And actually, it can be usually a spiritual accomplishment when you realize that someone is like your false twin flame, or you realize something is no longer for you. Like, that's a relief, but that doesn't mean that at one time it wasn't the right next step for you to gain this, where you are now. So it's important, I think, to also release like guilt and regret and what ifs and all these things, that often can like spin your wheels. And that's going to help you cultivate, and like clear out that space within for more joy, and again, attracting more of what you're desiring to attract into your life. So thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't followed and you want to, go ahead and follow me. And I appreciate it. And you can check out my website, thetwinflamepsychic.com. And of course, my link is also in my profile. So that is going to do it. I hope you enjoy the new moon if I don't see you before then. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend. All right? Peace and love you guys. Bye.